Hello Quirk Stuff, it's Monday, and yes, it is actually Monday this time. So I just left work, and I am sitting in a place that is not my neighborhood. So I totally just stopped at this park after work, and I think it was perfect to pick a park because this week's topic is childhood. I really want to go on the playground, but you know, there are like children there and I don't want to spoil their fun by like vlogging right where they're trying to play. Maybe afterwards I'll go swing on a swing or something. One of my favorite things in the world are swings, like just normal swings, because where I live, I don't really have swings for some reason. You have to go to like a different neighborhood to find swings. I decided to film out here because this resembles what I feel about my childhood. I don't feel like Laveen. Laveen is the town I live in, and maybe it's not smart to say that, but like whatever, dude. Honestly, there's like 1 billion people that live in Laveen now. It's not a pretty place. It used to be farmlands. It used to be super nice, but like all of these people moved in at the same time as me, and like there's fast food chains and it's just gross. Like I live next to a fucking landfill. So I grew up in like grand smack in Phoenix. There's something about Arizona, it's not, I don't know how to describe it, and the only thing I know that describes how I feel that I live is Andrew Jackson Jihad, or AJJ. If you've ever heard their band, I know Jacob has. They are a local Phoenix band, and they put so many Phoenix references in their songs. I'm like, hey, I've been to that park. Oh, hey, that's my favorite concert venue. Oh, I know that Circle K you're talking about. Arizona sunsets in the early evening. Like if you've never seen an Arizona sunset, it's amazing. Like this is like lighting up my face right now. The sunset is gorgeous, but if I film it, it's not gonna be the same. You guys are gonna be like, oh, I have sunsets like that where I live. No you don't, hun. No you don't. I am somebody who feels as if I live on nostalgia. Like it kind of sucks, to be honest. I don't know how to stop thinking about the past of my childhood because it's so huge. It's so huge to me. This isn't the biggest part of my life. The biggest part of my life was when I was like 12 down, honestly. High school, yeah, obviously that affected me, but childhood, guys, there are memories that I can never get back. Honestly, there are things that I can mention to my sister and to my mom about when we were little and what happened, and they won't even remember what I'm talking about. The only person who I know who has reached the same level of nostalgia as me about the same things as my sister. I love being around my sister. She's the only one who understands. I moved south of Phoenix where the farmlands were when I was around 8, and I've been in the same house since I was 8. Grew up in Laveen. Mostly there's just a lot of black kids, a lot of Mexicans. There's a few natives. You know, I was like the only fucking white kid at my school. Actually, there's like 7 others. Whoa, big difference now. It's weird because I lived in a very white area when I was younger, so like changing to an area where there's just like a lot of black people, it wasn't like scary or whatever. It was just different because I noticed that the rich white area that I used to live in, I got bullied so bad. There was like drama, and we were in like 5th grade. It was the craziest drama I've ever seen, and most of it was about I got bullied because I shopped at Target and not at like Forever 21 or something. I got bullied because of the material things that I didn't have that all the other kids had. And then when I moved to Laveen, the bullying was still there, but it wasn't about material things. It was about kids that looked at me and was like, you're weird. I'd rather get bullied for just people not understanding me because I can handle that. I know people don't understand. Holy shit, this is so bright, guys. The sunset, it's beautiful, and it's turning my face pink. Music, huge part of my childhood, and I know people say that all the time. Oh yeah, me too, like my parents liked music, but you know, like honestly, I think the only reason my mom and my dad did start to date was because of the music they listened to. My mom is into a lot of grunge stuff, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Flogging Molly, some punk stuff, and then my dad was into some metal stuff, and then he was into ska punk. Was huge in the 90s, and my parents both loved that. And my dad, he's actually in like the ska band, and so like I grew up on this kind of, a lot of people don't talk about ska anymore, but that's what friends are for, right? When you're young, you don't notice all the shitty things that are happening around you. Up until like you're 10, you start to realize like bad stuff. Like, so maybe you were young, you were like 5, and you saw your parents fighting and it really confused you. You knew it was bad, and then they probably lied to you and said, hey, you know, we're not fighting, oh, we're perfectly fine, perfectly happy. And then you go back, and when you get old enough to realize what they were arguing about, everything just gets so much darker from there. Like, you're like, holy shit, like I saw something go down. There's this brilliant quote off of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind that Kristen Dunst says, you look at a baby and it's so pure and so free and so clean, and adults are just this mess of sadness and phobias. There is not one day that goes by that I don't think about this kind of stuff. I love being around kids, honestly. I don't love bratty kids, but I love my little brothers. They remind me of me and my sister when we were younger, and I'm thinking, enjoy this, because you are probably going to hate your parents when you grow up. Honestly, I love my parents, but honestly, I need to be around them more because they don't have good influences, and they need people like me and my sister to show them joy and to show them life. They're gonna remember these little glimpses of happiness that we gave them out of all this shit. That can change a whole kid's life. Be nice to children, because for all you know, they're living in a shithole and their parents are terrible, and they might remember some, you know, stranger that was nice to them when they were a kid. It might have affected them in a way that you really didn't know. See a playground? Don't be afraid to get on it. I mean, this is so fun. Swings are my favorite thing in the world. Start thinking, oh, I'm too old for that. You know, that's fun. I don't have fun. Is when you start to lose touch. I advise you to go out and get on a swing or climb on the monkey bars or something. Only time I would warn you not to is if there is a child who wants to go on that swing. You don't take it away from the kid, you know? Goes for everything else in life. Don't take the fun away from the kids just because it's your time to be free. Be mindful for the little kids out there. You know, if you're in a crowded place, make sure to be aware of them and protect them. Okay guys, just as I was filming that, this little girl that was like 10 sat down next to me on the swing, and she's like, are you a YouTuber? And I was like, oh, I make YouTube videos, yeah. And she was like, I'm a fan. And I was like, ah! I got my first fan, guys. I have some news, guys. We have a new member. Her name is Rachel, and you'll be seeing her on Wednesdays from now on. One thing I also wanted to mention about childhood is that it's a very different childhood growing up like with divorced parents. My parents never got married, but they split up when I was like 3, so I don't even remember them like dating. And like now I'm like, how did they ever like each other? They're so different. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you almost have different lives at each of their houses. I guess that's it for me today. I'll share a few memories of my childhood right now, and guys, I will see you tomorrow. Bye. It's always strange for me to look at this photo because that's me and my sister, and that's my father. Me and my sister don't even have the same father. This is him when him and my mother were still together. It's just weird to see him, you know, acting kind of like a father to my sister. It's just something you don't see anymore. And this house, I remember it was his friend's house, and they're practically like my relatives because they were his best friends.